Good morning. How do we rewire our brains so we don't take things for granted? This may be one of the most important questions someone can ask of themselves. How do I change my basic ways of behaving, of receiving and transmitting in my brain? That's what we're really talking about, mindfulness. And how do we keep a flowing momentum? It's all well and good that there are many different avenues of meditation. We get that. We see it all the time. All kinds of different yogas and all sorts of Buddhist things and all sorts of the other religions all have their ways of coming into ecstasies and greater sense of understandings and awarenesses. How do we transcend the way we perceive, the way we transmit what we're doing? We maintain a more flowing relationship with what we're after. My hypothesis is by practicing and creating in oneself a more continuous awareness of what we're seeking to transpire, which is a greater sense of perceptivity into what's going on. If we have awareness that incorporates not only ourselves, but in a sense of vision or a realization of the complexity of creation, of the vastness of the universe, of the depth of our own evolutionary beginning, all of a sudden, the more mundane things of life are transcended by this all-encompassing oneness. How can we a more continuing awareness? A legitimate question. And easy to become familiar with tool is in recognizing one's physiological processes, beginning with the flowing of one's breathing process. We flow. We breathe in, we pause. We breathe out, we pause. And we begin again and again and again, becoming aware of one's breath. Help us have a continuity in what we're wanting to do, which is maintain a state, a heightened awareness of a greater sense of awakening, of our realizing not only do we exist in our narrow range of individual perception, but we're part of the community of mankind living on a planet, in a solar system, in a galaxy, in a universe, in the total of creation. Doing this, having this wider sense of perspective, changes everything. Offers one an opportunity to be humble, of having a sense of humility, of having a sense of awe, of reverence and astonishment at the sheer immensity of everything that is going on. That's how big our plates are. It's just not the food on the plate that we're eating. It's the energy from the air in your oxygen. It's the pull of gravity keeping us on the surface of this planet rather than floating away in the solar winds. It's a continuum that we are part of. The more that we are aware of our individuality, of our uniqueness, of our opportunities and responsibilities toward ourselves, our loved ones, our communities, and our world, the better off we will become. Practicing mindfulness then begins with following in one's own breathing. Now, in these moments, we have plenty of time. Let's go through a simple exercise of lengthening and becoming more attentive to our own breathing cycle. As we breathe in, make an attempt to lengthen your breath. Deepen the breath in your lungs. Feel your lungs expanding a little bit more than usual. As our lungs swell, we are finding that we are becoming satiated, and allow oneself to pause. At the top of one's inhale, one's lungs are fully expanded. Smile. Be curious as to what's coming next. Maybe even in this short pause, being appreciative, having a sense of humility, finding oneself being introduced to a state of grace and ecstasy, one's self-awareness rising, cultivating one's recognition of our universe, creation, evolution, of life's transitions, rising above ordinary and realizing the extraordinary circumstances are actually what we are part of. Gives one an air traffic controller's view of the airfield, so to speak. This is what we're sharing. One must reconcile these concepts and ideas being shared inside of oneself to legitimize the thoughts. This is the true practice of mindfulness. One is thinking, aware, mindful, heightened in perspective, aware of one's bodily functions, one's breathing, as we're talking about. This is an initiation of awareness. Proceeding on to one's exhalation, long and slow, please, longer than one's inhale. Being mindful, putting effort into focusing, concentrating on one's breathing technique for a minute or two while we are discussing further. Making and taking this opportunity to be more aware. Feel a beginning of one's mental expansion, one's sensitivities increasing. What are we finding out? There is much more to us as individuals than we normally are in awareness of. There are a seemingly infinite number of activities occurring simultaneously, and we're becoming more aware. This miracle of life, of life's evolution, of what's occurred over more than 3 billion years. Have we finished exhaling yet? If we have, we find there's an opportunity to take another pause at the bottom of one's exhale. Again, having an opportunity, the potential for heightening one's awareness and being full of gratitude, humility, for our recognition of the vitality and immensity of everything, including ourselves. Breathing is a very potent, often ignored tool for evolving oneself in concert with becoming more aware of our universe and our own evolution as Homo sapiens. This is an opportunity to grow in a flowing way. The more one is aware, the more one has to appreciate and be thankful for. This is mindfulness, and it's enough to begin in this way. Tomorrow we'll develop it, or later we'll develop this further. Namaste.